News Channel 15 presents Sports Extra, nominated by the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System for the best video sports program in the nation. Tune in Thursday nights on News Channel 15, also on our Facebook page, Sports Extra, where sports come first.
Hello and welcome into Sports Extra, the show here on News Channel 15, where we cover all of the local area sports here in the Mount Carmel region. I'm your host, Bryce West, alongside John Freeland, and we are not the normal host of the show, are we, John?
No, I'm not very informed of sports, so
well,
I'm not made out for this.
This is the April 1st edition of Sports Extra. We are the hosts of the film reel, and the Sports Extra guys will be on the film reel. We're on the film reel earlier today. And, well, now we are here to give the sports news for today, you know. And so since we are not the usual hosts of Sports Extra, we do actually have Drew on the line. Drew?
Hello, yes. One of the normal people on Sports Extra, going to help him out.
So we have Drew on as a lifeline. So if John and I don't really know what we're talking about, we're going to go ahead and pass it on over to Drew so he can, finish up the story for us. And so because we still want to be able to give you guys accurate news today. But with that being said, let's kick it right into the weekly recap.
It's time for the weekly recap, a rundown of local high school sports scores here on Sports Extra.
The Mount Carmel Golden Aces won on the road Friday night, defeating Anna Jonesboro 48-6. The Lady Aces volleyball team did not play any games this past week. The Aces soccer team lost a tough game at Centralia last Wednesday. However, they did cruise to a 7-0 victory at home against Olney the next day. Currently, the Aces sport a 4-1 record. The Fairfield Mules took care of business at Carmi, defeating the Bulldogs 38-0 on Saturday. The Lady Mules volleyball team won all 4 of their games this past week, winning those games in 2 sets. The Lady Mules are still undefeated this season. For Sports Extra, I'm Kyler Gaiman.
The Carmi-White County Bulldogs lost big time to Powerhouse Fairfield 38-0. The Lady Bulldogs volleyball team only had 1 game in the past week, winning last Thursday's game against Johnson City 25-16 and 25-22. Edwards County Lions won a Friday night matchup against Vienna Goreville 28-14. The Lady Lions volleyball team went 1-1 this week, winning against South Central and losing to Hamilton County. Both of the games went into 3 sets.
The Olney Tigers won in low-scoring fashion, defeating the Floral Wolves 14-6 on Saturday. The Lady Tigers volleyball team split this week with a loss against Newton on Thursday before winning against KZ on Monday. The Tigers team lost 2 of their past 3 games, with both losses happening deficits of 3 or higher. The Tigers have a 1-5 record so far in this season.
The Hamilton County Foxes lost a tough game on the road, losing to El Dorado 14-12 on Friday. The Lady Foxes volleyball team had a busy week, playing in 5 games with 4 of them being victories. Their only loss came against NCOE, where the Lady Foxes played 2 teams and went into 3 sets in both games. The Lawrenceville Indians took the loss against KZ on Friday, losing 48-6. The Lady Indians volleyball team lost their only game this week, losing to Marshall 25-17 and 25-14. For Sports Extra, I'm Bryce West.
The Newton Eagles lost on the road on Friday, losing to Robinson 21-7. The Lady Eagles volleyball team started their week with a win before losing 3 straight games in 2 sets. The Eagles soccer team went on the road and snagged an easy victory over Decatur 7-0. The Eagles now have a record of 2-1 this season. The Red Salukis shut out the Oblong Panthers 22-0 on Friday, and the Lady Salukis volleyball team lost in 2 sets against Flora on Monday, losing 25-11 and 25-12. From Sports Extra, I'm Drew Poughton.
It's time for the weekly recap, a rundown of local high school.
Whoopsie daisies! Happy April Fools! I think every mess up that we do on the show is just an April Fool's joke now. Yeah. So that's the great thing about doing this episode of Sports Extra on April Fools. But yeah, that concludes the weekly recap. So now I think we're going to move on to some football here. And Mount Carmel ranked 8th and Fairfield ranked 9th in Class 3A AP state football rankings as of March 30th. Mount Carmel is currently 2-0, and Fairfield is also 2-0. So, John, what are your thoughts on these rankings here today?
It seems that almost every person on the high rankings is 2-0, so I'm not sure
Yeah, so
how they justify
Drew, Pineapple, what's going on here?
Okay, so Mount Carmel and Fairfield. Fairfield has not lost a game in what seems like 4 years. They have not lost a single regular season game in my tenure of attending any Fairfield sporting event. And Mount Carmel is pretty good this year. It sucks that there's going to be no state tournament, but the rankings mean how good your team is. So it's not just the record, it's your overall team and how well the poll thinks that your team actually, how well your team would do in the postseason.
Okay.
So these are like voted on by specific people? Like who conducts these polls?
There is a group, I believe a group of, not just like, how do I want to put this? There is a group of workers that work for the site. This is what I believe.
Okay.
That work for the site that put these polls together and they vote on teams.
I think you should just let me decide who's number one.
No. Yeah, John, who's your favorite out of the 10 here?
Probably not Mount Carmel. It's a joke. It's a joke.
John is from Mount Carmel, by the way. So that was. Oh man, but I mean, yeah. So I mean, we got these rankings here. I mean, just kind of to go down the line for 3A. Williamsville is number 1. Byron number 2. 3 Princeton. 4 Willington. Is that right? 5 Rock Island Ailman. 6 Monticello. 7 Eureka, and then 8 and 9 are Mount Carmel and Fairfield, and number 10 is Tolono Unity. And then Olney also received an honorable mention in 4A and received 1 vote for that. So to be on the honorable mentions there. So yeah, congratulations on those teams for making it up into the football rankings. Is that accurate, Drew? Am I doing good?
I think you're doing all right.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're gonna take a quick break, and after this, we've got some WVC recaps to cover coming up.
At First National Bank, we are committed to providing our customers with superior customer service. Whether in person or over the phone, our goal is to provide a positive customer experience each and every day. Give us a call or stop in one of our local branches today.
With a lifetime of proven dedication and service to Mount Carmel, Susan Zimmerman is running for Mount Carmel City Council. Susan has a proven track record of service to our youth through Wabash Valley Youth in Action, our local school, and as an adjunct instructor at Wabash Valley College. Susan Zimmerman is passionate about making her hometown a better place, serving on many volunteer boards like the Retail Merchants Committee and others. With your help, Susan Zimmerman will strive to make Mount Carmel flourish. Vote Susan Zimmerman for City Council on April 6th.
News Channel 15 presents Sports Extra, a weekly look at local and area sports. See it Thursday nights at 6:30 on News Channel 15, also posted to our Facebook page. It's Sports Extra.
News Channel 15 presents The Film Reel, the talk show where hosts Bryce West and John Freeland talk about the latest news in the world of movies and television. Join us every Friday night at 5, also on our Facebook page. It's The Film Reel, only on News Channel 15.
My favorite thing about Wabash Valley College, it is a tight-knit community. I am very big into having a support system and to having people help me succeed. And being here at a community college, it is, in fact, a community college because we all support each other. We are all here for each other.
Welcome back into Sports Extra. Here's a recap on Wabash's games. In softball, Lady Warriors take Shawnee twice. It seems 13-4 and 13-0 with 5-inning scores count just as much in the win column, and they are milder of the heart muscle. By the end of the day, WVC bats had pounded out 34 hits, 20 coming in the first game alone. Drew, how is our softball game so far?
They're good. You always want to score more runs than the opposing team. That's always the goal of any sport.
That is a very good point from Drew.
And so 13 runs is pretty hard to come by in baseball and softball alone. So whenever you put up that many points, you're almost you have to be it'd have to be a very crazy game for you to lose whenever you have 13 points. So.
I appreciate you just giving up on handing it over to me. We just went straight to Drew.
Do you know softball? What are your thoughts on Wabash's playing this season?
I'm going to be honest. I was a little focused on what I'm getting ready to do, so I missed all of it. Okay. But it sounds like they did a fantastic job, according to Drew. So, just an FYI, in case you're just now tuning in. This is the April Fool's edition of Sports Extra. Happy April Fool's. And we are the hosts of the Film Reel hosting Sports Extra. Which
is a good show. You should watch the Film Reel.
Yes, and the Sports Extra crew just hosted a Film Reel as well earlier today at 5. But I think we're going to move on to a Warrior baseball game now with the Warriors going up against the Lakers. In the first game, Wabash Valley took down the Lakers 6-4, and then in the second game was even better. Wabash took down the Lakers 12-2. There was only one lawn ball, a 2-run homer to left by Ryan Rodriguez on an 0-2 pitch in the fourth, so the Warriors generated most of their offense on the bases. WVC had 10 hits on the game, but also collected a season-high 9 stolen bases. Three players, Freeland, Mignetti, Knox Preston, and Highland Hall had 2 hits each on the base paths. Xavier Pinales swiped 3, and Curtis Washington 2. The opening game on the Twin Bill was the more competitive of the two, with the Warriors rallying early, then holding off the Lakers for the 2-run victory. WVC added a single run in the third on a leadoff home run to left by Jonathan Hogart, his second of the year, to make it 4-1. So, John, I like to make things a little more interesting. So, what are your thoughts on the Wabash Valley versus Lakeland baseball game?
To be honest, I was also worried about my next.
Drew, Pineapple. What were your thoughts on WVC versus Lakeland?
It's always good to get a win, but whenever you're a Wabash baseball fan, they're pretty easy to come by. Wabash is the number 2 ranked team in JUCO Division 1. They were number 1, but they took a tough loss against, I believe, Kaskaskia a couple weeks ago. Dropped them to number 2. But Wabash has barely lost. I think they've only lost 1 or 2 games this year alone. And so Wabash is just always going to be pretty good at baseball.
Thank you, Drew, as always. Well, John, you have another game to talk about here?
Yeah, Warriors moved to regional with 24 Final Four after sweep. They beat Lakeland College 3-0, going 25-18, 25-18, and 25-21. WC improved to 14-6 with the victor, which matches the win total from last year despite playing 16 fewer matches in the COVID-19 shortened season. It was also the first postseason triumph in the 3 years restart of the program after a 15-year lapse. Coming on the heels of a straight set loss to the Lakers just 10 days earlier and losses in 2 of the final 3 regular season matches, the turnaround was nothing short of dramatic. I can explain it, said Colvin. We had not been playing well lately, but we came out today and played our best game. Tried to come back in the third game, but we wouldn't let them. Well, Lakeland tried to come back in the third game, but we wouldn't let them.
Okay.
So what is your thoughts on...
Region 24 Final Four, that is a big deal, right, Drew?
Correct.
So
it is the postseason for volleyball, and they beat Lakeland in 3 sets, 3 very close sets, and it was just a very good game. Well, the very good 3 sets.
Love to hear it. Congratulations to the volleyball team. They seem to be killing it right now. So good on them. Let's see. Now, I was actually at this game, so I think I can give a little more insight into this here. So Wabash Valley. I mean, this was a sweep if I've ever seen one. I mean, Wabash Valley College beat Shawnee 16-3 in the first game. They mercy ruled them in the 7th, and then in the second game, which was shorter, they mercy ruled them in the 5th. They won 21-2. This is baseball, folks. I mean, like, that is unbelievable. I mean, you never see high-scoring baseball games like that, and that was unbelievable. And Jonathan Hogarth was, without a doubt, the MVP of that game. He says, I was seeing it big, just trying to send it up the middle and not do too much, said the Wabash Valley freshman outfielder. Hogarth hit 3 home runs, falling just one blast shy of hitting hitting for the home run cycle, in addition to driving in 8 runs in a 16-3 WVC win over Shawnee in the first game of a Great Rivers Athletic Conference doubleheader. He has been our most consistent hitter all year, said Warrior coach Rob Fournier. Thank you. He stays within himself and is doing some things he is capable of doing. The Warriors take their 9-game winning streak on the road Friday to open a 4-game GRAC series at Ren Lake. After a doubleheader there, the two teams switch sides and play again on Saturday in Mount Carmel. I mean, they absolutely destroyed Shawnee. I was doing co-commentary with Brenton Beard on that game, and I think for the second game, the first inning was around 45 minutes. That is unbelievable. Yeah, Drew. Yeah, Drew knows how ridiculous that is. So, it was unbelievable. Yeah, Brenton's in the back, nodding his head. But Brandon and I, we were struggling to find some new things to say because after a while, whenever you have a game that's 21-2, you kind of just start saying the same stuff over and over again, and because it's just like, wow, there's another home run, and there's 4 more runs here, and another couple there. 11 of those 21 runs were in the first inning for the second game. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was unbelievable. So John, do you have any thoughts on the WVC versus Shawnee game?
I have a couple. First, I have seen a couple baseball games. I've never seen one with that many points, to be honest. Yeah. That is absurd. Also, how many points do you need to mercy roll them, or is it just
10 over? You have to be beating them by 10. Okay. So the first game went to 9. So they mercy ruled them in the 7th, and for the second game they were only playing for 7, so they mercy ruled them in the 5th.
Okay. Also, where you said you recorded for these. Where can these be found? Your recordings of the games?
I think it was on the Athletics.
I think it was stream only.
Yeah, I think it was streaming only.
Okay.
I don't think it gets replayed. So yeah, but yeah, it was an incredible game, and yeah, I can't wait to see what else Wabash Valley has in store for the rest of the season. Does that conclude everything that you have over there? Well, I think we have one more before we hit another break, and it's with WVC basketball, and so women's basketball is the number 1 seed in the region tournament, and they will play on Tuesday at home against Southwestern Illinois. Is there anything of significance there for us, Drew?
Wabash is on a killer winning streak still. I believe it's up around the 15-game mark. The only 2 losses that they came to bigger schools. So they've lost 2 games on the season, and they both came to bigger schools. So it's like a high school game. It's like a 2A school losing to a 3A school. So Wabash is just on a killer win streak and a killer GRA win streak. They're on a 80-plus game winning streak in their conference.
That's awesome. Men's basketball could have number 4 or the number 5 seed after tonight at Vincennes. If they get 4th seed, they play at home on Monday against Southwestern Illinois. If they get 5th seed, they go on the road on Monday against Southwestern Illinois. With that being said, we're going to take one more quick break, and after this, we're going to be talking about the March Madness Final Four coming up.
It just takes a moment to spread from one person to another. So how do you break the germ cycle? Wash your hands often and always after coughing, sneezing, handling food, and going to the bathroom. Lather the front, back, and in between for at least 20 seconds. If there's no soap or water available, use a hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Regularly disinfect common surfaces, including your phone. These small things can help break the germ cycle.
From broadcasting
to sports,
from filming new shows
to interviews,
from filling the news
to working on projects.
The radio TV program at Wabash Valley College brings you fun and enjoyable work experience. Here you'll gain hands-on experience by working with our news channel, News Channel 15, recording and even broadcasting some of the biggest high school games of the year. New shows like The Film Reel and older shows like Sports Extra. Come be a warrior by setting up an appointment today at 618-262-8641.
News Channel 15, winner of the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Award for the nation's best community college TV station.
News Channel 15 presents Sports Extra, a weekly look at local and area sports. See it Thursday nights at 6:30 on News Channel 15, also posted to our Facebook page. It's Sports Extra.
My favorite thing about Wabash Valley College, it is a tight-knit community. I am very big into having a support system and to having people help me succeed. And being here at a community college, it is, in fact, a community college because we all support each other. We are all here for each other.
At First National Bank, we are committed to providing our customers with superior customer service. Whether in person or over the phone, our goal is to provide a positive customer experience each and every day. Give us a call or stop in one of our local branches today.
I think what makes Wabash better than any other college is that it's a small, close-knit community and it offers a lot of different classes with a lot of different teachers.
What makes it better is the hands-on training. The teachers really want you to succeed.
It's such a different kind of community than what a big college would be. I can go and walk down the hall and I know like 7 different people. And so I think it's just the sense of community that you get from a smaller college.
No matter what your favorite show is, News Channel 15 has you covered. Now available on Roku and Apple TV smart devices.
Welcome back to a very special April Fool's edition of Sports Extra. I'm Bryce West alongside John Freeland. We are the hosts of the Film Reel, hosting Sports Extra today. Your Sports Extra guys also hosted the Film Reel today. We're doing a little goofy crossover event today. The inexperienced film buffs host Film Reel, and the inexperienced sports people host Sports Extra today on April 1st. To end off today's show, we have some March Madness stuff to talk about, and we've got the Final Four of the tournament. If I'm not mistaken, it's April now. Drew, is that normal?
Yeah, they usually run until about April 5th, April 9th this year. With it being only in Indianapolis, they only have a limited number of places to play, so the game's extended out a little bit farther.
I actually did not know that. So the Final Four is Gonzaga, Baylor, UCLA, and Houston. John, I know you're going to have a lot to say about these 4 teams. Probably give at least a huge, in-depth analysis for the Final Four.
All I've known and all I've actually seen is Gonzaga, which are they listed as number 1 at the moment? Okay,
they were the number 1 seed in their region.
Okay, yeah. So I've seen some Gonzaga games, and they seem like they are doing extremely well at the moment, and is a big competition for UCLA, if I'm not mistaken. Who is expected to win the Baylor versus Houston game?
Could go either way. Houston's a really good defensive team. Baylor does a little bit of everything really well, so it ought to be a really good game. Both of these games should be really good. Excuse me.
Is that a 1 versus number 2 in their area?
In their region. So they both won their region, so they play in the Final Four to see who goes to the national championship.
Okay. And then from there, do you know when the games are taking place?
I can check. Keep talking and I'll check.
Okay. Well, we've got...
What are your thoughts on...
I mean, this is like... In like film reel terms, this would be like the epic season finale, right, of March Madness, like who's going to win. It could be anybody. Although it seems like it's probably going to be Gonzaga with what everybody in the studio has been informing us over the commercial break.
Although, with how the bracket's going, I hear that a lot of turnovers are unexpected and there's no actual brackets out there. So it is possible
there are no more valid brackets out there.
It is possible for Gonzaga to lose.
I mean, obviously anything can happen. Drew is raising his hand. Drew?
Games will be played on April 3rd.
You know what, Drew? Why I'm just going to invite you up here, Drew. Why don't you? I mean, you're going to be. You know what? This is April Fools. Come on, let's. Drew is going to be coming up with us here shortly to talk more about March Madness. He's slowly but surely making his way up here. Hey, Drew, how's it going? Bryce West from the Film Reel here.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
And so, Drew, March Madness.
Gonzaga is still undefeated. I believe they would be the first team in NCAA history to go undefeated, if not one of the very few teams to go undefeated. They are, I believe, 30-0, around there. UCLA is the 11th seed. They are the first team since Syracuse to go from the first 4 to the 11th, which Syracuse seeded in around 2017, 2016. Baylor hasn't been in there for a while, and Houston hasn't been in there for a while. So it's a lot of good teams that haven't really seen a lot of play. Gonzaga was in a national championship game 2018, 2017. Yeah. Everyone except Gonzaga has not been here for a while.
So I mean, who are you rooting for, or at least like who do you think is gonna win March Madness this year?
I would love to see Gonzaga win it all. To be honest, it'd be nice to see some history. We haven't seen an undefeated team go all the way and win it in quite a while, if not ever. So I'd love to see some history. To be honest.
Well, considering we do have a little bit of time left, and we are the Film Reel crew. I think it would be fit to kind of end off with our favorite sports movies. John, you mentioned Air Bud over the break?
Yes. Air Bud, the golden retriever dog playing every sport ever.
Yeah.
I think the originals are great. When they started adding the puppies, it became a little less great. Yeah. But
you don't like Air Puppies or whatever it's called?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's I still watch them, and they're entertaining. They're just not as good as Air Bud.
So if you're buying like an Air Bud box set, like only get like the first couple.
I guess do they come in box sets?
Sure, they probably.
VCR.
I guess everything comes.
You know, I'd say mine would probably easily be The Sandlot. I mean, that's pretty much.
Or Space
classic.
Jam.
Or Space Jam. You know what?
Space Jam 2 is coming out.
Space Jam 2 is coming out. Yeah, LeBron James is in that one, right? So, I mean, yeah, Space Jam 2. Bugs Bunny, probably the best basketball player of all time, I would say. He's up there.
I think he could probably defeat all these teams.
Yeah, do you think the Space Jam team would be able to win March Madness here with this 4 lineup?
Gonzaga's pretty good.
Yeah, so Gonzaga beats Space Jam.
Is it Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, is it Bugs Bunny?
We'll never know, I guess. I mean, unless they put a Gonzaga team against the Toon
Well, maybe
Squad.
Space Jam 3, we can have Space Jam versus Gonzaga.
Right.
And see.
National TV
and
right
then
there.
Gonzaga
my goodness,
lose their win streak to Space Jam.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the only team that Gonzaga could lose to at this point, right, Drew? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think all the games are going to be really good. I think UCLA has a halfway decent chance to win, but Gonzaga's been so dominant over the past couple games.
Well, with that being said, this is going to wrap up today's April Fool's edition of Sports Extra. I definitely almost said the film reel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Bryce West. This is John Freeland and Drew Poughton. Have a great night.
News Channel 15, winner of the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Award for the nation's best community college TV station.